Stop recording button.
Okay, well, my little creek isn't really running right now. I was hoping to do this with the fountain on, but it's still pretty. So, today we're talking about med beds, personal responsibility, and exactly what you can do at this particular moment. Okay, so when we're talking about med beds, we're talking about a repressed technology that is very real. It sometimes sounds too good to be true. However, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. So, when you look at an atom, okay, you can't actually touch it. It's not really solid. It's made up of electrons, neutrons, protons. So, what is interesting is how do you get from electrons, neutrons, protons to something you can touch? That's an interesting idea. Now, I understand that there are physics and science and all the other goodies involved, but let's just think on a human logical level. How do we get from basically energy to something solid? This is a very, very interesting question. When we're talking about scalar technology, we're talking about technology that uses frequency to heal the frequency. So, as Royal Rafe showed us, everything has a frequency, a vibration. And you can see that with EKGs and other ways of reading electricity. Those little boxy things that they put on outlets to make sure the outlets are working. I mean, there's many, many ways to read energy, electric signals. So when you think about vibration and frequency and you talk about that old example of the champagne glass and the woman singing the high C and the champagne glass shatters with her voice, the frequencies are incompatible. The champagne glass cannot hold the frequency that it's being bombarded with. Okay? So if our body, like Royal Rife showed us, holds a particular frequency, anything that is healthy has a healthy frequency, and Dr. Rose Michael, is telling us, she's the one who does the EE system, is telling us that cancer lives or starts or can only grow, there you go, in a body that has 25 millivolts or less running through it, on a regular basis. The healing of the body is between 80 and 90 millivolts. Okay, so let's talk more about energy. So when we are not fighting an uphill battle like the poor little salmon in the river, we are able to heal ourselves. It's very common. You get a cut, you don't bleed out. You get a cut, you can treat it and help the body. You can assist the body and it'll heal faster, or you can just let it do its thing. Either way, in a minor cut, your body will take care of itself. Sometimes it needs some more support than others. Sometimes it needs a bandage. Sometimes it needs stitches. Sometimes it needs that, crazy glue fake stuff that glues your skin together. Whatever it is, the fact is the body is still going to heal itself with some support at times. The MedBeds is a repressed technology. This technology has been held from us for all kinds of reasons. If we are healthy, we don't need to buy pharmaceuticals. We don't need to buy pharmaceuticals. We don't need to see doctors. We don't need to see doctors. They don't need to go to university and spend $250,000. They don't need to go to university and spend $250,000. They don't have to buy textbooks that are $200 and $300. They don't need to buy textbooks that are $200 and $300. And a lot of our publishing companies go out, and all those are owned by the same people. Okay, so moving on to MedBeds. Realizing that MedBeds are so close, my body is tingling with the idea. I can't help it. My body holds truth very well, and it will vibrate or tingle when I am in just extreme truth. It's phenomenal. MedBeds are very, very close, people. But that doesn't mean you wait. That doesn't mean you go eat a whole chocolate cake. That would be for me. That doesn't mean you go drink a whole, case of beer or smoke a whole carton of cigarettes or XYZ. You fill in, whatever your issue is. you take care of your body because the highest frequencies in order are gratitude, appreciation, and love at the top. Okay? These are the highest frequencies. The exact opposite of love is fear. Okay? So if you're in fear, you cannot be in love. They can't hold the same space. The frequencies oppose each other. Okay? So when you are doing something to help your body, when you are doing something to aid yourself in feeling better, you're holding a frequency of gratitude, appreciation, or love, or else you wouldn't be doing it. So why do people not eat the second piece of chocolate cake? I love myself enough to not indulge in something that I know is more than my body can handle. I'm not going to say chocolate cake is not good for you because I don't believe that. I believe your body will use your environment to create whatever experience you need to have. But when you are putting in gratitude, appreciation, and love into your physical self, into your energetic space, magic happens, people. Magic. So while we're waiting for med beds, do what you can to meet the med beds halfway. The med beds will raise your frequency. Yes, they do that. The med beds will jumpstart your mitochondria. They will do that. The med beds will help you shift densities, and one day, that may mean something to you, or maybe it means something now. There's a lot of good stuff that comes from these med beds. But imagine if you're 2 or 3 steps closer. How much more, how much easier can it be? I still don't know how much rehabilitation is going to be required for things like atrophy. Say you have problems with your legs and you haven't been able to walk. Well, you're going to have to rebuild that muscle. Or are you? The med bed helps to correct illnesses or injury, but does it help correct apathy? Or when you decide, like say you're autistic or Downs or some kind of neurological condition. Okay, well, the medbed will correct the neurological issue, but then the pathways still need to be made. It makes sense to me that the pathways will continue to need to be made, and there's a rehabilitation period. So if you are looking to have a healthier body and your muscles are kind of weak, it might be a good idea to work on your muscles now. So I'm missing a ligament. I have poor vision. I don't jog or run, but I really want to. Jog, not run, you. So if I start working on, doing toe lifts, or I work at the gym and, do bench presses, that will help get the muscle ready for when my ligament is reattached or healed, or however, you want to state that. So what you do for yourself right now in raising your frequency is going to inadvertently raise your mood. It's all attached. Right now, we're going through a great turmoil, a lot of turmoil. We're releasing, we are purging. A lot of traumas from our childhood, ancestral issues, etc., etc. So if you are helping yourself, if you are working on doing things for yourself, you're crafting, you're working with your music, you're swimming, you're walking, you're running, you're just out in nature, sitting in the grass, you're even just looking at your babies, fur babies or otherwise, there's a sense of joy. And that sense of joy ultimately raises your frequency, and that frequency will help your body to heal. It will help your body to stay healthy. It will do all of that for you. So yes, med beds are coming. They're very, very soon, by the way. And realize those of us that are not in the first 1, 2, or 3 rounds, do not be upset about that. Sometimes we have to raise our frequency. Sometimes we're just not ready for it. We're not at a place where we can absolutely have its full benefit. And from what I'm understanding, they're going to do their best to get the people who are on a higher frequency and very ill into the med beds after the people who are working the healing centers. So please trust that you will be in line in your right and perfect spot. We all have issues to work through. We all have learning that needs to be done, realizations that need to be had. So for those of us who aren't, in the first month of MedBeds, realize that I really feel like just about everybody will have their first appointment within the first year. Something like that. That's what feels about right. So take heart. Whatever is supposed to happen will happen. We are beings of light, love, peace, joy. We are extensions of Creator Source, which means, even though it's sometimes very difficult to understand, which means everything that happens to us in our life is by divine plan. Trust it. Trust it. Trust yourself. Trust that you knew what you were doing to create the level of experience you needed to grow and to just be a stronger, more evolved being. I hope that helps. Please, whatever it takes. Oh, one more thing. Try to sustain a frequency. So if you have a crystal bowl, if you can hum, if you can get those music videos that feel good, like on YouTube, the different Hertz videos. And just because it looks like it's the frequency of love, if it doesn't feel right, do not listen to it. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, as we know. Trust yourself. We have to go within. You are a sovereign being. You are a being of perfect inheritance in energy and all ways that can make this life good and rich and worthwhile and full of abundances and experiences. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.